What's up FPL gaffers, welcome back to my channel for another FPL video. This one's going to be called Thinking Ahead on Tuesdays, where I will get you a list of players that have been heavily transferred out and also a list where I have made where you can maybe sell, buy, keep, or even monitor these players for the upcoming game week in game week 8. Now, before I get into the fun FPL stuff, I have brought to you some new graphics. Let me know in the comments how you find these graphics. If they are more helpful, any more information can be added in there. Please let me know with the comments below. Also, I hope you had an amazing time of FPL. You still have a little more time to enjoy before the game week starts, but I'm here making some content for you to get through FPL game week 8. Now, let me jump straight into the players that have been heavily transferred out for just ahead of game week 8. Now, my first player is Richarlison, and he's got nearly 205,000 transfers out. Basically, I see why a lot of managers have transferred Richarlison out. It is because the minutes are not there. It's not very secure for minutes. Matthijs Tel playing the last game for Richarlison. I basically knew I was going to get a red arrow this game week as soon as Richarlison was benched, and which is why I think a lot of managers are transferring him out for game week 8. His XG, his price at this point is now 6.8 million. It is getting a bit difficult with the prices in FPL to get your favorite players and your ideal FPL team, but till now we're looking for those template players that we want with consistency and then having our differentials for each of the game weeks. Richarlison's ownership is at 15.4%. For someone like Richarlison at the moment, I think it is a bit too high for someone whose minutes are not secure. Of course, you might be Tottenham fans or you might like Richarlison from what he's done before, but I think if there's any time you can get rid of Richarlison, it has to be now. In the next graphic or in the next section, you will see where I've placed Richarlison in a priority sell or a monitor or keep or sell. I will leave that up to you now. I'll give you some expected goals per 90 for Richarlison, which is why I think he should be, he is most heavily transferred out. His XG per 90 is 0.34. His expected assists is 0.04, which is not really ideal for a striker. Of course, the minutes, like I said, playing an important factor in why he is being heavily transferred out. His goals per 90 as well, 0.59, not bad, but again, like I said, minutes is a concern. Fixtures for Tottenham not looking that great either. At this point, I would try and get rid of a few Tottenham assets like Richarlison, maybe even Mickey van der Ven. He will be in the monitor list, but I would actually closely monitor your Tottenham assets, especially because if you've got someone like Pedro Porro, Mickey van der Ven, Romero or Vicario, they are now conceding goals. I hope I haven't jinxed it, and I hope they don't keep another clean sheet in the upcoming game week, because I'm looking to play my wild card most probably in this game week. Now, the next player I'm going to talk about is Mohamed Salah. He is also being heavily transferred out. 424,000 transfers out from FPL managers just ahead of game week 8. At his price point, I think if you want to free up some money, selling Salah to get an ideal team is the best way to go forward now. He has blanked in the last few game weeks, of course. Against Chelsea, missed a few good opportunities, but if you are a Liverpool fan or if you like Mohamed Salah, he can turn his season in a snap of a finger and he will be up there with the returns. But for now, at his price point of 14.4 million, he is owned at 38.4%, which is quite good, quite high as well. But as of now, it looks like Erling Haaland is the route to FPL, where you can make a lot of points. The more you keep Salah and the more he blanks, you're going to lose on points. His XG also per 90 dropping to 0.3. By the way, all these expected goals per 90, expected assists, goals per 90 is been taken from Fantasy Football Hub. So if you're looking to join Fantasy Football Hub, link will be in the description below. It is a 50% off at the moment that they are running, and you will get your money back if you do not win any of your mini leagues, but terms and conditions apply. So moving on to Salah, his expected assists per 90 is at 0.14, again 0.14, sorry, again not as great as it was in the previous seasons. He's shown us what he can do, but I would say the fixtures are not too bad. Of course, he's got Brentford away, Man United home next, Aston Villa at home, and Man City away in the next 4. Salah's fixtures not that great, but after that Man City fixture, I think the fixtures will look good for Salah, and if he can turn it around, people will want to own both Salah and Erling Haaland in their teams. My next player I want to talk about is Jack Grealish, and he is at 6.9 million and ownership of 20.5%. If you're someone who is looking to get rid of Jack Grealish, of course, the upcoming fixture in game week 8, he cannot play this fixture because he is out on loan from Man City, and Everton are playing Man City, so Jack Grealish cannot play this game week. I see why he's been heavily transferred out, because if you do not have enough cover on your bench, then Jack Grealish needs to be replaced for you to have a full playing squad for game week 8. Jack Grealish's expected goals per 90 is 0.14, which is not too bad having come from Manchester City. He is a good player, I must say, but still might be taking time to get used to playing the Everton style. He and Iliman Ndiaye look like the route for Everton forward, but in this game week, it is interesting to see how Everton cope without Jack Grealish in this game week. His goals per 90 also 0.16, expected assist is 0.31, and assists per 90 is 0.65. Pretty decent stats for Jack Grealish. I think apart from this game week, if you want to get him in, look at the fixtures. It is not too bad for Jack Grealish. In game week 10, they're playing Sunderland away, and then in game week 11, Fulham at home. Fulham not a team that concede a lot of goals, but of course with Jack Grealish and Iliman Ndiaye, also with Kenan Dewsbury Hall, you don't know what to expect, and either of these can turn up in a game. So moving on, I would like to talk about João Pedro. He is also being heavily transferred out of FPL managers' teams. He's got nearly 238,000 transfers out. I think this is a bit knee-jerk because he has blanked in the last few game weeks. The fixtures for Chelsea are now better, playing Nottingham Forest, then Sunderland, and the fixtures are actually getting better for Chelsea, which is why for me João Pedro must be an easy hold and could be also a differential, because if people are now selling him, his ownership has dropped to 61.3% from nearly being 70% owned. He's priced at 7.7 million. Of course, has got price rise. You might have value tied up in João Pedro, but XG per 90 is 0.24. Expected assists per 90 is 0.04. Of course, playing as a striker, your XG is going to be higher than your XA. So goals per 90 coming up at 0.31 and assists per 90 at 0.46. João Pedro is someone, if I was on wildcard or if I had free transfers, I still wouldn't keep him out of the squad. But with the fixtures coming up for Chelsea, João Pedro could be an easy hold for me. So, moving on next, I've got Victor Gyökeres. And Victor Gyökeres also has been heavily transferred out with nearly 217,000 transfers out this game week. Again, Victor Gyökeres is someone who, if I had free transfers, I still would keep him in the team. He is getting used to the Premier League. It is a fast-paced game, of course. Coming from the Portuguese league, it could take some players' time, but I think Victor Gyökeres could be a good player, will probably by the end of the season match the stats for Erling Haaland. It could be that some players also start very well in the second half of the season. We've got to be mindful of that. And the fixtures for Arsenal, not as bad as we think they would be. And if you want to have anyone from that Arsenal squad, it could be two in defense with Saka or two in defense with Gyökeres. I think is the way to go to game week 8. Of course, this is my opinion. If you choose differently, then it is up to you, as you are the ones pressing that confirm squad button on the deadline. Now, moving on to my next section. In this section, I have kept a section for players where I classify them as like priority sell or maybe sell or monitor and even keep. So in my priority sell, I have got Richarlison and Chris Wood. I think it's not worth it if you're taking a -4 to sell these, although they are priority sells. If you've got bench cover, I would keep them on the bench. Especially Richarlison, not secure with the minutes. You are looking at the team sheet of Tottenham Hotspur as and when it comes. So I would stay out. I would keep Richarlison out of the team or out of your playing 11. Chris Wood, another player who's been frustrating a few FPL managers, I suppose, has not scored since game week 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think the double that he scored in game week 1. But Chris Wood also coming into that priority sell. Now, maybe sell is another list where I have put Mohamed Salah, maybe sell Mohamed Salah or Jack Grealish. Salah simply because is too expensive to be blanking in almost every game week now. But if you want to keep him, the fixtures do get better for Liverpool after around game week 10, after around game week 11. But for me at the moment, if you want to have a decent squad with a decent midfield, a decent defense, I think if you transfer Salah out, you will free up more money to have a decent squad. Next player is Jack Grealish in the maybe sell. This is simply because there's no better time to sell Jack Grealish if you wanted to do it. Again, do not use any -4s. Use your free transfers if you have to. Jack Grealish not playing in this game week simply because he is come on loan from Man City and it is in his clause that he cannot play against his parent club. In the monitor list, I've got João Pedro, Gyökeres, Mickey van der Ven and a few of your Tottenham assets that you might want to add in. Let's say, for example, Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven or Pedro Porro. Any of these that you have might also be in the monitor list, only because I would give it another 1 or 2 game weeks for Mickey van der Ven if I was not wildcarding. I think I am going to hit that wildcard button this game week just because my team is not in a great shape and you lot have already got amazing teams out there and I'm looking to compete for rank, which is why I might hit that wildcard button this game week. Now in the keep list, I've got Erling Haaland, Moises Caicedo if you have him, Enzo Fernandez is an easy keep, Semenyo, nothing to be spoken about Semenyo, easy keep, don't even think about him, play him in your squad every game week. And after that, I've got in the keep section some Arsenal assets and some Newcastle assets if you have them, because the fixtures will get better. They're all right for Arsenal already. And for Newcastle, the fixtures will get better somewhere around game week 11 or 12, if I'm not mistaken. That is all for today, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video, share to as many FPL managers as you can. I hope you had an amazing time off. I had an amazing time off. Went to Palma for about 4 days. Megaloo for some of those who didn't know. Unfortunately, weather didn't help. Was not that great. Couldn't do much out. But I enjoyed my time. I hope you have. If you've done anything interesting, leave it in the comments below. And I will see you on Wednesday. Also, before I say goodbye, please leave a like or a follow on my social media pages, because I will be now getting you wildcard drafts and my team reveals on the social media pages, or even YouTube shorts if you're already subscribed. Make sure you leave a like or a follow onto my social media pages so you don't miss any content that I'm going to get you for this season. I'm going to leave it there. I'll stop rambling. I will see you soon for another video. Tomorrow, the video will be a wildcard draft, which will be on YouTube Shorts or on Instagram, on TikTok, and even Snapchat. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.